Well, how's it going, church? Welcome to this week's devotional. We have come to 2 Kings chapters 18 and 19. We get to the story of Hezekiah. And Hezekiah is an awesome story. I mean, it truly is. It isn't when it finishes, but that'll be the next day's readings. But at least for today, most of his life, Hezekiah's story is awesome. I mean, it literally says, notice in 2 Kings 18 verse 3, he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that David his father had done. And what are the things he's talking about? Well, it goes on to say that he got rid of all the high places, all the idol worship, and he trusted in Yahweh and Yahweh alone. And his trust for Yahweh came out in a really very clear instance when his life was threatened, and actually not just his life, but the life of his entire nation by the king of Assyria. As you're going to read, you're going to see that the Assyrian Empire sends a delegation over to threaten Israel, or Judah specifically, with Hezekiah reigning there. And he's mocking Yahweh, he's making threats, all these things, trying to scare them. And when you read this, you're gonna the language is pretty profound. I mean, it includes saying the people are going to drink their own urine and eat their own poo. I mean, it's pretty crazy, the threats that he was throwing at Hezekiah. And it culminates in the Assyrian Empire sending a letter basically saying, hey, you better submit, otherwise it's going to go. It's going to go bad. And what Hezekiah does is Hezekiah takes that letter, and you're going to read, he goes to the altar and he reads it to Yahweh, saying, God, you know what they've said. You know that they're mocking you. Now please rise up and do something. And Yahweh does. Yahweh responds, and I'll just read one part of that. You're going to read all of it in your reading, but in chapter 19, verse 28 says, Yahweh's speaking to the head of the Assyrian army, and he says, because you have raged against me, and your complacency has come into my ears, I will put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth, and I will turn you back the way by which you came. Now, God sometimes uses ordinary means to do what he wants to do, and sometimes he uses extraordinary means. In this situation, he decided to use extraordinary means. Notice what it says, that night, verse 35, the angel of the Lord went out and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. And when the people rose early in the morning, behold, these were all dead bodies. Can you imagine if you were Sennacherib, the speaker on behalf of the Assyrian army, and you wake up and you're like, 185,000 dead people. That is crazy because of an angel. God sent an angel to do that. And then it says, then Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed. He went home, just like God said he would, and he lived at Nineveh. And as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, Adminimelech and Shazra, his sons struck him down with the sword and escaped in the land of Ariat. So Sennacherib, this tough guy speaking on behalf of Assyria, ultimately was killed by his own kids. So anyways, as we read this story, again, Hezekiah doesn't end well. You'll read that the next day. But as far as today goes, just think about Hezekiah started amazing. He worshiped God. He got rid of all the idols. And then even when something crazy such as his own life being threatened, his own nation's life being threatened, he still trusted in Yahweh. And Yahweh used extraordinary means to protect his people. And so I don't know what it is that you're going through, but I just want to encourage you to be like Hezekiah. Trust Yahweh, seek him, pray to him, and he will answer whether he uses ordinary means or extraordinary means. Well, thank you for joining us for this week's devotional. If you've found yourself behind the reading, don't worry. Just pick up with today, 2 Kings 18 and 19, and you'll be back on track. Until next time.